Fellas, we're talking hackers today because they are increasing. Most notably because we have trials right around the corner. And if you notice, especially on Steam, you'll run into accounts that have names either in a foreign language or just all numbers. And those are obviously burn accounts. They're testing their bots. They're actually trying to see how things like aimbot works on those accounts, network manipulation. There's things like self-res where they just have infinite lives. Others auto-regenerate heavy ammo. And some can just absolutely manipulate their weapons beyond anything in this game. And this is only going to increase once Trials actually launches. Now, I'm not going to be all doomsday about it. We know that Bungie has implemented an anti-cheat system in the game that's supposed to be working better. DMG actually confirmed the other day. He stated that our fight against cheaters will never end. We have folks working the issues. Depending on the complexity of the cheats, things indeed take time to address. Then he stated, as always, make sure to report suspected cheating as your reports help our investigations. Today, guys, we're going to go over the concerns about cheating, the different types of cheats, how some are very obvious to confirm, while others are a little more difficult to pick up on. Most notably, like aimbot. Aimbot's probably the more difficult one. Like sometimes you're like, yo, that guy's using aimbot, but he might just have fantastic aim. And then of course the guys that are actually like network manipulating, that's an obvious one. DDoSers, obviously an obvious one. But let's just go over what I ran into the other day. So first up, I'm in a match, a very normal match, right here on Bannerfall, which was a popular Trials map. And I run across this character with the name 332 and a bunch of digits. A dead giveaway, fellas. You see this? You better go ahead and buckle up. Now, he was actually testing a variety of cheats here. He had this one cheat where he could shoot like, I don't know, 10 rockets at a time or something, like Gallahorn on crack, which I thought was gonna be the worst of it until he pulled out his lonesome sidearm. Yes, a lonesome sidearm could map you from 100 meters or more. And then he tried a few other cheats, things that gave him his super over and over again. Obviously, he was outright flexing. And he was more or less probably getting all this together just to work all the kinks out. That way he could sell it. Because you can't sell a bot or a hack or a cheat without a little bit of gameplay to prove it, right? That's bad marketing, boys. You gotta have some gameplay. And that's exactly what he was doing right there. Now, you can kill him. Yes, he actually died a few times, which is like the equivalent of killing a god. Now, these cheats are very obvious. And the perspective from his end is a little different than our own, which we actually have some gameplay here. These were actually some Twitter clips that were uploaded the other day. And again, this is being uploaded for a reason. These people are actually trying to sell these hacks. Purely marketing. But this guy has a sniper rifle, and he's obviously not shooting it like a sniper rifle. What the hell is this shit? The sniper rifle's like shooting at 2,000 rounds per minute, which obviously spells death. There's no way to combat that. But that's the perspective of that. Then we have another video that we had, which was like the one we showed you a second ago, where the rockets were shooting off one after another. And this is some straight Borderlands shit. And I actually think this video was like hacker against hacker, because I think there was a hacker on the other team, which you gotta admit, kind of an epic battle. It kind of boils down, man. Whose hack is better? Well, turns out there's actually a hack that just outright breaks the game. And these are the hacks that result in whatever parameters that are set around the match itself, say it's elimination or survival, outright being thrown out the window. Big shout out to this YouTuber here, Silatus. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He uploaded a video where he actually chatted with a cheater. Now, this cheater concerns me so much because they actually can just revive themselves over and over again despite them being out of lives. In a situation like elimination, this is disaster. I mean, they're all disastrous, but this one takes it to a whole nother level. Look at these guys. They are killing them over and over again. And despite this being a survival-based game that does have a cap on lives, it doesn't matter because whatever hack he's using is completely bypassing the objective game mode, which is like super scary. I mean, look at the opposing team. They killed him like nearly 500 times and they still didn't beat the man. So not only did they just waste probably like a good 30 minutes killing this bastard over and over again, but they didn't even win. Now, throughout this conversation, our man Silatus here was just trying to find out what was the reason. Why is it that this gentleman cracked, aka the cheater, is doing what he's doing? Really kind of just boiled down to him saying, hey, Destiny 2 is a shit game and I just like to be a shitter. Regardless though, he made Cracked promise that he will never cheat again, which I thought was pretty admirable. You know, trying to connect with him on a personal level, telling him that cheating's wrong. I honestly don't think it's going to change him because I don't know any cheater that changes their ways. Not one. Y'all know my experience with Clay is Clutch. That bastard was cheating on console for years before he finally got banned. And all he does is just get another account. So even if he did get banned on his main account, he's just got another account ready. Now, another cheat that we saw here recently which to me is even scarier, is your aimbot cheats. These are cheats that are a little harder to detect, because again, it kind of brings up the thing, is the guy cheating or is his aim just really, really good? This is how an aimbot looks. Now, this guy actually uploaded this video to his channel, and me actually uploading this video here to my channel is probably going to result in this video getting taken down. Hopefully not. Either way it goes, this guy is showcasing what aimbot looks like. And as you see, he's shooting right here, and then immediately after killing that guy, his reticle pops to the other target that is behind the wall. Now, he's not actually doing damage to that guy because that guy is, of course, behind the wall. The main thing is this aimbot is tracking everyone on the map, all enemies. And the moment they become visible, or even before that, they probably have a hotkey of some sort that allows them to start shooting immediately. Now, it's a little harder to notice, but if you do come across a guy that he just always seems to find you, no matter what, and he just never misses a shot, and he's killing you with weapons, like in this situation, Prometheus Lens, with ease, you might want to question it. You might really want to sit down, probably look at his history, see what his KD ratio is, and if it's some stupid number, like the dude's got like a 100 KD, it's most likely that he's cheating. Now, we're bringing these concerns up because Trials is coming to us next weekend, and by the way, this is not just something that affects PC users. This affects consoles. I was on console for years, and cheating still happened there. Now, the frequency of cheaters, we really don't know. We've been running into them more inside of comp, in the freelance playlists, as well as even just in 6v6. As we know, some of these people are actually just testing out these aimbots in different hacks. What we're concerned about is the frequency that we're gonna run into them in Trials of Osiris. Now, there's 3 ways to really combat cheaters. Number 1, obviously a good anti-cheat system can really cut them down. Now, there's no system that's perfect. If you go look at PUBG's forums, they're filled with cheaters or people talking about cheaters. Rainbow Six Siege, same thing. CSGO, same thing. No game is perfect, and Destiny will not be either. But you gotta have a good anti-cheat system or nothing works. No gating, no skill floor, all of those things will never do what a good anti-cheat system is supposed to do. Now, the second thing, which was something that we really wanted to see, was actually a power requirement for Trials of Osiris. As we see right here in the most recent detail given to us by Bungie, all Guardians at power level 960 or greater will be able to compete inside of Trials. And it's open to free-to-play players, which was also concerning because initially we said we not only wanted a power floor put in place for Trials, but we also wanted there to be like a purchase required to actually participate in Trials. So something like, hey, you got to buy Season of the Worthy or Shadowkeep or Forsaken, something requiring these cheaters to spend money in order to play Trials. Now, understand the Trials ecosystem results in a number of players legitimately just trying to get flawless. Then you have your players like Sherpas that actually carry people to the lighthouse. Then you have account recoveries where you can pay someone to actually get on your account and carry your account to the lighthouse. And then you got your hackers. And the hackers actually carry people to the lighthouse similar to Sherpas, or they just get on your account and do the hacking while on your account, thus resulting in them never being put at risk. They put your account at risk, but they've already taken your money. They charge you however many dollars to get your account flawless. You think you're cool, man. You're like, oh yeah, I got this guy, man, for 15 bucks. He took my account flawless. And then boom, you probably get banned 2 weeks later. Now, the worst out of all of these are just your shitters. Your people that just hack just to hack. They kind of have a comment like this gentleman had where he said he just hated Destiny 2 and thought the game was shit. And he just likes to make life hell for everyone. Now, the concern that bubbled up this past week was actually mentioned in the most recent TWA from the dev team. They stated that they were going to raise the power cap for gear drops 40 points. Powerful gear will now drop up to 1,000, with pinnacle drops going up to 1,010. Also, the soft cap has been raised 50 points. Gear drops from nearly all sources will continue to be upgrades until 950 power, and powerful reward sources will not be required to progress to 950. Will not be required to progress to 950. That's a big one. Meaning, with Trials only requiring 960 power to participate, the only grind that most cheaters will have to do is from 950 to 960. And I don't know if you've actually leveled up an account here recently, but the grind, at least to that soft cap, is not difficult at all. And there'll probably become like an ecosystem of accounts being sold that are just burn accounts. Free to play burn accounts over and over again that will already meet that 960 threshold that these cheaters can take into Trials to do all their cheating with, to carry people, to do whatever with, without effectively putting their own account at risk. Which is why we kind of full circle come back around to anti-cheat. Anti-cheat at the end of the day, whatever Bungie implements in their system is going to have to react faster and be more efficient in picking beating up these people that are hacking. This crack guy was asked how long he has been using this hack to win out in comp games. First he said weeks, then he said months. And he probably meant weeks with that account. And for months, he's probably been using various accounts. Either way it go, it's too long. Now, what are the chances that you're gonna run into a hacker inside of Trials? Well, I can't answer that. I'll say any time that you run into a hacker, no matter what, is always a shitty time and can really take the air out of that entire card. Like if you sat down and you're like, hey, me and my buddies, we're gonna go flawless this Saturday. We're gonna do it right now. And you encounter a hacker. For me in the past, after running into hackers or DDoSers, any type of manipulator of the game, it kind of just takes the air out of that entire day for me. So I can't really say how often you're gonna run into a hacker, but even once is still too much, which is why we mentioned the other day that Trials, when it returns next week, has to come with the Mercy Boon, as it effectively gives you a free loss in your card for things that you just can't control. For things like hackers or DDoSers or any type of manipulator, that Mercy Boon that grants you 1 loss per card without affecting your flawless run will shield you from those events out of your control. So guys, I just wanted to go over the cheaters and hackers thing. I know a lot of people, when we throw up cheats and we say that there are people cheating in the game, they don't believe you. And it's not until you actually show them proof or video proof that it happens. I would say that aimbot is starting to become a little more frequent as people are kind of like using that underneath the radar. And they toggle it on and off, okay? So they don't necessarily just run around the entire time using aimbot the entire game. Sometimes they'll go like a round or two without using it and then cut it on to win the game out. So there's ways in which they manipulate things to keep themselves from being detected. Regardless though, Bungie is gonna have to be on top of their game with their anti-cheat system, which is what I wish we would have talked about more in the most recent TWAB, and maybe we'll see it more next week. We do have one more TWAB before Trials rolls out. I'm hoping to see something along the lines of IP bans. That would be the best route to go, something to identify the IP addresses of these hackers to finally ban them. Now granted, they could be using like a VPN, right? Have multiple IP addresses to avoid the ban or just swap addresses on the fly. I'm not saying that they can't avoid these bans, but I would say that IP bans might be the best route to go outside of just outright banning these accounts. My concern with outright banning these accounts is the amount of burn accounts that are going to be available, with 960 power being something easy to obtain, thus resulting in the sale of these accounts to be probably relatively cheap. And again, they don't need good weapons. It's not like they're selling these accounts with a requirement for like Revoker or something, or must have this exotic or this pinnacle. These people can do whatever they want to do, whether they have a lonesome sidearm or a shit brick. It really doesn't matter. They just have to be in a match with you. Anyways, I can ramble about it all day, guys. Just wanted to bring it to your attention on the type of cheaters that are present in the game. I'm sure there's more than this. Some are very easy to identify, some are not. Either way it goes, reporting is still a feature I would recommend, even if you feel like it doesn't do much. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.